Hello guys, welcome to Life Saga TV, our video for the day. Of course, I've 10 days before I did a video here, so I may take 60 minutes just so as to compensate for yesterday. Then tomorrow I do another one to compensate for the other day. So I hope you're fine. Welcome to Life Saga TV once more. A lot of sagas in the house, right? But we will deal with one by one. Of course, there are a lot of sagas surrounding what is happening currently in the by-election process. We've seen a lot of people claiming, or rather even scared about what is going to happen. I don't know why this fear. Why this fear? Why is it that so many people, not just Kenya, but when you look at other countries, when it was Tanzania, Chidema party was worried. When it's Uganda, we can see the party for Chagulanya is worried. And even Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, we had the same worries. What's happening? Does it mean that our democracy is just democracy on paper? So we've seen a lot of parties coming out to denounce what may happen. And I'm like, what is that you are seeing that is coming to happen? So let's just look at some clips right here. And I don't know what you think. Currently, we have 392 subscribers. We are still targeting 500 for now. I don't know. We are taking too long to get there. Is it this hard? Don't make this channel to go through the hard times like edutainment for us. I've seen Pepe over that specific channel. So let's see what is popping out there with fear of so much. But let's begin with the one story about the fear of Ethiopian troops. I don't know why there is a mentioning of Ethiopian troops. I thought it was Sudanese troops, but of late there is another mentioning of Ethiopian troops. Let's just listen to this clip and get after it.
Ethiopian troops crossed into Kenyan territory, moving nearly 2 kilometers past the line that separates the two countries. According to a Kenyan police occurrence report, the soldiers marched in with confidence, sparking an immediate alarm among Kenyan security units stationed in the area. Within minutes, the quiet border town had transformed into a battlefield. Kenyan police, the administration police, and border patrol units scrambled to respond. And the moment the Kenya Defense Forces joined the scene, everything changed. A fierce 2-hour exchange of gunfire rocked the normal peaceful frontier as Kenyan forces pushed back against the advancing Ethiopian troops. Gunshots echoed across the hills and residents ducked for safety as the two sides clashed in a military confrontation that no one saw coming. Sources on the ground reveal that the trigger may have been an alleged abduction incident earlier that morning.
Alright guys, let's stop there first. So of course we've seen a moment when the Sudanese troops came to Kenya. And not many people know about these Ethiopian troops that are said to have invaded Kenya and of course caused some death in Turkana. But it came out in parliament, spilling the beans in parliament that there was an invasion that was hidden, not actually exposed. And my question is, why is our CS for Interior so much concerns about the by-elections instead of focusing on security, even on the other borders? Of course, we've seen a lot of invasion from externals because now currently they know that Kenya is an easy country to invest or even get papers. With no vetting, we are going to receive a lot of externals and foreigners for that sake. And remember, there's no way you can differentiate a color of an Rwandese from a Kenyan. And of course, our president said that immigrants should now be treated as citizens. Now, of course, we understand that this is a tactic to serve in 2027 elections because when so many people now come and register as voters, it becomes an easy packet, maybe replacing the mountain votes with those externals. So Janet Subo, welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm very fine. I hope you are also fine. And thank you for showing up on the channel and like the video. If you are new, you can subscribe also I appreciate. Yeah, so when you look at deeper into these matters, we have seen the blame of America on Somali people. They are saying that a lot of Somalis are stealing in America, then they are coming to buy houses in Kenya. And this is very unfortunate because the other day someone was talking about radicalization and indicating that if we don't work against what is happening, very soon Kenya will become a Muslim center. And of course, the problem is it's not like we hate Muslim, and of course we have them. But when it comes to radical Muslim, they normally begin to campaign and want to force everyone into Muslim, just like what happened in Sudan. If you remember, Sudan began to have a civil war because of religious differences. The Muslims were forcing the rest of the population to become Muslims and eat the food that is actually meant for that. You understand? So I just pray against everything that is negative and call for peace. But then, if we are not careful, what we are praying against might happen, because God gives us a way to avoid this. But when we allow it to happen, it is us. We have opened the room for it, so we cannot prevent it anymore. So let's look at the complaints from this CS, not CS, but MP in Parliament, and let's see what he says. What is he saying?
This is a dispute that is international in nature. It is an international problem. It is shameful that we are commenting on M23 going defending their rights inside DRC, whereas we cannot comment on Ethiopian militia attacking our people within the Republic of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, as...
You understand? You get this? So the MP was speaking right, saying that it's shameful we are commenting about what is happening in DRC. We are there to talk about what is happening deep in other countries. But we are unable to actually, protect our own citizens in Kenya. And he was saying that some citizens are being taken from interior Turkana and are taken away or attacked, especially in Turkana. Of course, that is very shameful for a country. And I'm surprised the CS has not even commented on this, has even gone there, but he's busy guarding the votes. Hey, the most precious thing in Kenya is votes. People can protect the stealing of votes, but they'll never protect the stealing of property. They'll protect the votes, but they'll never protect the stealing of money, public funds. It happens all over the places, and people just keep quiet about it. Anyway, let's continue listening to him and see what his grievances are.
A government, as a people who are sovereign, we should be ashamed of ourselves. We have lost our people in Turkana North. They are no less human beings, and therefore we should not make it as a small problem. Honorable Speaker, no Kenyan has less value than the other, and the government has that obligation. It is under our constitution. It is not anywhere else to protect the lives. And when you say that lives, it also means the lives of the people of Turkana. So, Honorable Speaker, we call upon the Minister of Interior to take this matter seriously. We call even upon the head of state of this republic to take this matter seriously. Honorable Speaker, hearing the people of Turkana here,
Though both nations have remained tight-lipped.
All right, guys. It's unfortunate now when it comes to matter of security, sometimes some things are kept under waters. However, what is the CS doing? Because even if he's quiet about it, he should have visited the place just like a normal visit and addressed the matter. We should also have seen the kind of security that is now placed around Turkana and the Ethiopia-Kenya borders to be stronger than how it is. Unfortunately, that has not happened yet. And even though people are talking about the Ethiopia-Kenya border clashes and what happened in Moyale on 22nd, no one is ready to address it. You know, it's like a gossip aspect, and you cannot see it even on big channels. Nobody is talking about it. People are trying to avoid commenting over it. Anyway,
fresh and delicious. Imagine you.
Welcome back to AfriPlus News Channel.
Within the Republic of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, as
in Moyale, multiple ethnic groups, Borana, Gare, Gabra, straddle.
So Moyale, of course, has Gabra, Borana, Gaba, and such people that sit in those places, or rather occupy them. And they are a bit insecure, so sometimes they are forced to seek their own security because no one is protecting. Novin Fafa, hello. Hello, hello, hello. So no one is protecting them. And even as KDF are trying to battle over it, it's just being taken like a normal stuff, you know. No much is talked about it. And of course, we have seen our CS very busy withdrawing security from some of the politicians in Kenya in claims that that is to offer disciplinary action against the police who actually might have encountered or rather participated in the violence, and then after that things come to normal. That is his promise, right? How true is this? I don't know again. Okay, but we want to talk about several matters here. We want to address several matters matters of importance, and let's see what we can talk about next. So of course, as I said, you know that these by-elections are never taken too seriously. We have never seen such a battle as what we have of late watched over. But now when you look at the battle that is conducted currently, of course ODM is participating, but at a very mild level. But when you look at the united opposition and the government, there is a serious battle. And of course, with everyone fearing that there'll be rigging and all that, George Natembea, you look at Gashagwa, you look at, both of them are pointing fingers at each other, and we are like, who is who? Anyway, let's start by listening to Natembea as we proceed.
Tayari mwenyewe ni kwamba wataki ni kuwe na usalama, sababu ni ni kwa sababu wanataka nikienda pale ni kwa expose ili wafanye vile wanataka. Na mimi nikiogopa niseme kwamba siende kule Malava, I'll be playing with their own hands. And we go there and see the worst that they can do. Tuone nchi yetu imefika kiwango gani katika hali ya usarabu. Nataka tuone kesho itakuwa namna gani. Maana wale ambao wenye mamlaka unaka saizi ni watu ambao wanabeba Biblia sana. Kila mahali wanabeba Biblia. Sio kama hiyo Biblia wanaisoma ama wanaisoma na waielewi. Kama waielewi Biblia basi soma tu katiba inasema nini kuhusu masuala ya uchaguzi ambao si mambo ya security.
Okay, let's get to see what Eugene also tells us with his team.
Sema kidogo kwa Kiswahili na nieleze Wakenya wazalendo ya kwamba tumepata habari ya njama na kuiba kura serikali hii ya broad based. Njama hii imetekelezwa kupitia IEBC commissioners wenyewe, polisi wa Kenya, na kuna wahuni ambao tayari wametayarishwa. Wamepelekwa kule Mbere, wamepelekwa Magarini, wamepelekwa Malava kule Kakamega. Na njama hii ni kwamba hawa wahuni wataanzisha fujo wakiwa chini ya ulinzi wa polisi, na polisi wataingilia kati kujifanya ni kama wanatuliza na waweze kusimamisha upigaji kura katika sehemu hizi tatu ambazo serikali tayari dalili imeonyesha watashindwa. Wanataka kugeuza uamuzi wa wananchi. Yetu leo ni kuambia Chairman Ethiopian na Commission ya IEBC ya kwamba wana nafasi nzuri sana kuonyesha ya kwamba hii ni tume huru isiyoegemea upande wowote. Kupitia yale ambayo malalamishi tumefikisha mbele yao, kuanzia na mambo ya hongo kwa wapiga kura. Haswa jana kumekuwa na women rep wa Kakamega, BLC Mahanda, akigawa chakula cha msaada, relief food, mchele, maharagwe, akipeana mattress na blanketi ambazo mimi nilikuwa napeana nikiwa waziri wa special programs. Wale wamepata majanga kule Turukana, mafuriko kule Nyanza na kwingineko. Hii ni chakula ya dharura kusaidia msaada wale wameumia. Sio wapiga kura, wakulima wa bidii ambao wana chakula chao, lakini wanatumia chakula cha serikali, mattress za serikali, kununua wapiga kura wapigie kura. Sio hiyo tu, njama ya pili kando na hongo ni kutumia fujo, na hii fujo itakuwa kupitia hawa wahuni na polisi. Silaha hizi mbili za hongo na fujo tumejua zitatekelezwa wapi na nani. Kama Malaba, nimetoka huko jana, mbunge wa Lugari Bwana Nabina Bwera, tunajua ya kwamba wewe ndio komanda ambao umepewa jukumu hilo. Tunajua ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Wetangula, Mheshimiwa Mudavadi, Mheshimiwa Oparanya na viongozi wenzetu kutoka magharibi mwa Kenya wamekuwa kwenye njama hii wakiongozwa na none other than Faruk Kibet, msaidizi wa rais, karani wa rais. Sasa ndio mdosi wa hawa jamaa. Kile anasema is what goes in Malava. Ameishi kule mwezi mzima hajaondoka. Leo tutataka tumwambie Bwana Faruk Kibet, ile njama umepanga tunajua. Kulikuwa na njama ya kwamba viongozi waweze kushikwa. Mheshimiwa Senator Halwale is targeted for arrest. Tunajua kuanzia usiku huu niko natafutwa. Senator Cleo Malala, governor anatembea na viongozi ambao wanaongoza campaign zetu.
All right, so that is the press release. Of course, we heard from the United Opposition. I don't know whether it's just fear or the reality. But in Kenya, anything is possible, guys. So these people are coming to claim that they are going to be arrested, that there is going to be chaos, that there is going to be rigging, that the voters have been bribed. And I don't know why these by-elections have become more of life and death, guys. I think it's because they are trying to see a prophecy of the next election through this one. Maybe a reflection, and they fear that if that happens, then in 2027 they might be having a tough time. Anyway, let's see what will happen. Tomorrow we'll be here. We are not going anywhere. All right, so those are the fears that have been shared. Of course, we saw Eugene Wamalwa speaking. We saw Kalonzo Musyoka speaking. We also saw Gachagua speaking, Cleophas Malala in another setting. And anyway, what I wish for is that there should be peaceful elections, because elections are only one day, but life is so big. And you normally tell us that you as politicians, you're not permanent enemies. If you lose today, maybe they'll consider you somewhere else. So why the battle? Anyway, so let's get to see another aspect. Sasa hii nayo inakataa, sijui kwa nini. It refuses to charge. We are just 18 minutes, almost 20 minutes down the line. The power in the computer is limited. So let's see what to do so that we can run for an entire 1 hour or more minutes. All right, so that is the political drama, of course. The political drama of pointing fingers at each other. We don't know how true everything is, but Kenya, of course, politics in Kenya is very violent. If you take part in it, you must be very serious and ready to face what consequences you can face, you know? Now, of course, I don't know why it happened that they had to withdraw the securities, and of course they have revealed something, but we are not very sure about the revelation. Let's see how interior, how the interior secretary in terms of interior, whatever, will say about this.
Murkomen say the withdrawal has affected leaders from across political divide and adds that if the officers are found elections and goons themselves. Murkomen has also dismissed claims that security agencies have taken a partisan position.
Have been found in the middle of goons, facilitating goons, facilitating goons. Some of these police officers have been found in the middle of goons, facilitating goons, transporting, hiring, and it's not enough that they have been withdrawn. Their disciplinary action will be taken against them, and if the charges are proven, they will lose their jobs. They will be relieved of their responsibilities within the National Police Service. So it's not enough even to complain that they have been withdrawn. That the commission.
All right. So even though some of the people are complaining, of course, we have seen Khalwale withdrawn, Governor Natembeya withdrawn. I'm not so sure whether they withdrew Kindiki's also, because he has been partisan in the campaigns, and CS Rocco, and who else? So let's listen to Khalwale complaining here.
I want to ask the government to calm. Elections are always won and lost. There must be a winner and there will be a loser. So let's win gracefully. But when you lose government, don't resort to these desperate measures. Mr. President, are you aware that the security of George Natembeya has been withdrawn? Are you aware that the security of Dr. Boni Khalwale has been withdrawn? Your police officers, you have given me 6 police officers as per my office. Where are they? What are you planning to do? Number 2, Your Excellency, you are our president. I ask you, are you aware that a former minister in this county of Kakamega, former minister, has been afforded youth from Nairobi? I do not know what they want to come and do in Kakamega. Mr. President, are you aware? Mr. President, as the custodian of the security of our community, tone down, ask your minister to be in charge to let the voting to go on freely. We are not violent people. Tomorrow, if there are any instances of violence, it will be because we are refusing to be intimidated. You cannot just come to our home, slap us all over the place, kick us in the ass when our wives and children are watching. Don't do it. In fact, I sympathize with the youth who have come from outside Kakamega. As they send you, they will not be there. You'll be on your own. You do not know the local terrain. You are the one who is going to be exposed. The people here, they were born and bred on this terrain. They know where to go and where not to go. Finally, but not least, Mheshimiwa Speaker Wetangula, those young men you have acquired from across the border in Uganda, if you think they are the alpha and omega of threats, how come when they opened fire at me, they missed and I hit them? You know, you are to go and give first aid to the guy we hit at the house of Vinny. You know that you refuse to treat him in Kenya, you are to rush him to Toronto. We are adults just like you. You will not slap us around. We will.
And when you say that...
So what is this guy Khalwale trying to say? So there have been underground fights we don't know about? I'm telling you. So anyway, Someone said that the government hacked itself recently. From what we were told, 70, I don't know, sites were hit. And I want us to listen to this, guys, from Cholet.
The system was hacked the other day. By the way, part of testing your system is you hire hackers to hack it so that you can test the integrity of the system and improve it.
Are you saying those hackers?
Deputy Speaker Gladys Bosch-Cholet went on TV and said, quote, relax, we paid them. It was a mock exam with swastikas, with right.
That's what you do. That's what you do when you're building a system.
For sure, you're right. It's possible to do that.
That's what you do when you're building a system.
But are you saying the system was hacked?
Sorry?
Are you saying the system?
No, the system, yes, the system.
So it was intended by the government.
No, I'm not going to confirm that, but I'm just telling you that this is what you do when you're building a system. Is that you actually, we have what we call ethical hackers, yeah? We tell them, hack the system. You actually deploy. You just deploy, no, because there's no way you're going to know that your system is foolproof unless you have people. So actually, part of building a system, and like I told you, I've built systems before. And what I've done is that I've always hired people to constantly try and hack the system.
Okay.
You have people on your payroll to do that. That's their job.
Right.
Just 8 days earlier, Interior PS went.
Hey. So what exactly was Cholet saying here? That the government hired people to hack the system to prove whether it was free from hacking? Or what exactly is this? Because the other day, that hacking was so shocking. And at the end of the day, there were no losses. There was nothing real. There was no report even afterwards. And it just went silent and things to the normal. So I understand. I understand now.
County in Kenya.
Now, I don't know when these claims are going about, is there going to be a correction or measure in whichever different places they are? Let's look at Kaspool.
The National Assembly. Now, finally, the residents of Kaspool constituency here in Homa Bay County will have a moment at the ballot to select, or rather to elect, their next representative at the National Assembly after the sudden demise of the former holder of that particular office, that is Charles Omondowere. Officers to the various polling stations. The vehicles you're seeing behind me here, these are vehicles that have been procured by the IEBC from various schools around here to enable the logistical arrangements here. Like I mentioned, once the presiding officers are done collecting their electoral materials, they will onboard these vehicles in the company of police officers to their various polling stations. Let me just run our viewers through some of the statistics regarding the electoral material election, the by-election of Kaspool. This is a constituency. Elections Code of Conduct will take that matter up and act immediately. Of course, we've seen that happen. Recently, we saw IEBC charging a fine, or rather imposing a fine of 1 million to 2 candidates in this particular contest. That shows you that the IEBC is impartial. Actually, that is what the chair mentioned, that the IEBC, as the referee for this particular exercise, will remain impartial. Impartial, just to ensure that each candidate is accorded a fair playing.
Now, I think, guys, you understand that Kaspool has 10 candidates, 10 good candidates. 10 candidates in Kaspool are vying for the position of the fallen MP. And now let's get to Mbere and see what is happening there.
unakuja. Tumeona taarifa ya IEBC ikisema kwamba wapo tayari kuendesha chaguzi hizo ndogo kwa njia ya huru na haki. Tuvuke kule Mbeere Kaskazini na niungane na mwenzangu Clement Masombo atutaarifu zaidi. Clement, kwako.
Naam, shukrani sana Hadia. Ni kweli kama ulivyosema ni kwamba tume huru ya uchaguzi na mipaka nchini IEBC imeshatoa taarifa kwamba wako tayari kusimamia ama kuendesha huu uchaguzi ndogo ambazo zinaendelea na hasa hapa katika eneo bunge la Mbeere Kaskazini kwa njia ya haki na uwazi. Hilo ni hakikisho ambalo wametoa. Tumepata hakikisho kutoka kwa idara ya polisi wakisema kwamba wana maafisa wa polisi wa kutosha kusimamia shughuli hii katika eneo bunge hili, na hii tu ni kuashiria kwamba matayarisho yote yamekamilika. Kilichosalia tu ni shughuli hii kuanza kesho. Inatarajiwa kuanza saa 12 iendelee hadi saa 11 za jioni, ambapo sasa shughuli nzima ya kuhesabu zile kura itaanza. Lakini pengine nikupe tu taswira ni kwamba eneo bunge la Mbeere Kaskazini ambalo liko katika kaunti ya Embu ni moja kati ya yale maeneo bunge ambayo yatakuwa lina takriban wapiga kura 55,124 ambao wamesajiliwa. Hiyo ni kulingana na ile idadi ya IEBC ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2022, na wanasema kwamba tukilinganisha takwimu kama walivyojitokeza wakati huo kupiga kura ni kwamba ilikuwa asilimia 68 ndio walijitokeza kupiga kura. Tunatarajia kwamba pengine wakati huu idadi huenda ikawa juu kidogo ama ipungue kidogo. Tumezungumza vile na wanasiasa ambao wana tashwishi kidogo, wale upande wa serikali wana madai yao kuhusiana na wenzao wa upande wa upinzani. Wanasema kwamba kunao wale ambao wameleta vijana kutoka sehemu mbalimbali kuzua vurugu katika hili zoezi la kesho. Lakini taarifa kwa kina ilikuwa imeandaliwa na mwenzangu Vera Mora. Hebu tusikize.
Wapiga kura 55,000 wa Mbeere Kaskazini wataelekea vituo vya kupiga kura kumchagua mbunge wao mpya. Uchaguzi huu unajiri kufuatia uteuzi wa Geoffrey Ruku kwa waziri wa utumishi wa umma baada ya Rais William Ruto kutofautiana na waziri wa zamani Justin Muturi.
We want to ensure all people of Mbeere North who will wake up to vote from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning that the government has organized proper security for everyone.
If persuasion didn't work, even intimidation and violence will not work. It will backfire on you.
Wagombea 9 wako debeni. Newton Kariuki maarufu kama Karish wa chama cha Democratic Party, Leonard Muthende wa United Democratic Alliance UDA, Duncan Mbui wa chama cha Kazi, Albert Murimi wa National Vision Party, Lawrence Ireri wa chama cha Safina, Mchungaji Isaac Muringi wa United Progressive Party, Ruben Kamathai wa Alliance Party for Real Change, Daniel Ireri wa Kenya Moja Movement na Simon Waihora wa Umoja na Maendeleo. Kinyang'anyiro hiki kinachukuliwa kama pambano la ubabe kati ya Rais William Ruto anayewakilishwa na naibu rais Kithure Kindiki na aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua. Hata hivyo, wachambuzi wanasema matokeo yanaweza kuamua mustakabali wa kisiasa wa Kindiki, ushindi ukimpa nguvu kama mgombea mwenza wa Ruto mwaka 2027, huku kushindwa kukidhoofisha nafasi yake.
Maafisa tuko nao ya kutosha.
All right guys, that is better for you. Let's see another item of our discussion. Yeah, so of course, as the election continue, we had the loss of the young sister to Raila Odinga. She's not that young. She's 70 something, right? 72, right? Around there. And during her death, it is indicated that she was even sick when the brother was unwell, or rather was buried. And there has been concerns because we've not seen a lot of people talking about it. And when you try to raise concerns over that, then people ask why you are asking questions. And of course, one of the concerns that made a lot of people raise questions was that when people were attending the Lee funeral home, while they were checking on the young sister to, that is Beryl Odinga, of course, pictures were shown and Win Odinga was seen. The sister Kinye was also seen, Dr. Kinye. They also saw, they also saw the Ruth Odinga, among other people, Millie Odhiambo. But then the absence of OBURU Odinga was a concern, because the other day we were told that he's just going for rest for 2 or 3 days. However, it has taken more time, and so today the son had to release a statement. Let's just listen to this and get to understand what he's sharing here.
Activity for the family, and especially now to mourn his brother due to back-to-back engagements, including the ODM at 20th anniversary celebrations. It's been a beehive of activity for the family, and especially now our leader, who is the Honorable Dr. OBURU Odinga. And then we've had functions all over the place to condole with our people, the population, the wananchi, for Baba in Homa Bay, in Migori, and everywhere. And we also had ODM at 20. So we realized that the party leader had not even had a minute to mourn his own brother. Therefore, as a family, we really insisted that he needed a break, which we made sure that last week on Thursday, he took this break and went to Dubai. He didn't want to go very far. So he's there. He'll be back tomorrow. Though, unfortunately, again, we've had another loss in the family. We have our aunt, our beloved aunt, who is the fifth born in my father's family. She was known as Beryl Odinga. We lost her yesterday in the early afternoon.
Now, soko ubaya.
So anyway, it is what it is. The family is actually battling with a lot of problems. Of course, we understand the pressure of work, but I don't know why they had to replace actually Raila Odinga with OBURU Odinga. And of course, Winnie has raised concern over that. I think the taking over of the party should have been taken by more like agile younger people than OBURU Odinga, because any age beyond 70 is actually bonus.
Hapa nikiwa nimeandamana na mawaziri, familia, kwa DCI na wale wengine ambao tulikuwa tujue ni kwa nini mwenda zake alituacha kwa ghafla Saturday, na tumepata report. Wakati tulikuja hapa Jumamosi, tulikuwa na wasiwasi na maswali ambayo tulikuwa najibiwa. Swali la kwanza, kulikuwa na alama ilikuwa hapa kwa kichwa,
ambayo ilikuwa inatutia wasiwasi. Alafu ukiangalia sura yake ulikuwa unaona kuna upungufu wa damu. Kwa hivyo maswali haya yamejibiwa kwamba roho yake ilipasuka na ikafuja damu, na inawezekana wakati jambo hili lilikuwa linaendelea ndio alikuwa anahisi kwamba hakuna kitu tunakiita na kimombo gas. Alikuwa ameanza kufuja na inawezekana pia aligongwa wakati aidha kizunguzungu akipatwa na hiyo janga, ndio alama ilikuwa inaonekana kwa kichwa. Kwa hivyo familia wameambiwa na wameridhika, na sisi kama serikali ya Makueni, jambo ambalo ni muhimu kwetu ni kwamba kujua kwamba Dr. Sonia hakuna jambo ambalo.
All right, so that is a report from Mutula Kilonzo, the governor of Makueni, over the death of Dr. Sonia Nzilani, who was the CEC. And of course, when death happens in Africa, we have so much mystery. And when it's a politician, of course, we believe someone did something. And especially when it comes to some parts of the body looking like they are hurt, then it would automatically lead to a physical attack, or maybe people having hurt someone else. So I think up to that, we don't have much to discuss or talk about in the political situation. Let's wait for tomorrow to go through other momentous moments in political situation. Bye bye for now, as we finish with the gunfire at the presidential palace at Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, so of course, army have had to take control ahead of election at the presidential home of the Guinea-Bissau president. Whatever happens, let's look after it. Maybe by tomorrow we'll see. So Guinea-Bissau attempt of coup. It is said that military have taken control of the country after election. Let's see.
Right now, a coup has been confirmed in Guinea-Bissau. Now, earlier today, we heard heavy gunfire outside the presidential palace just days after general elections took place. Let's have a listen to that. Crowds of people were seen running from near the palace. Two candidates have claimed victory ahead of the release of results on Thursday. The incumbent, Umaro Sissoco Embalo, is seeking a second term. He ran against opposition contender Fernando Diaz and 11 others. Let's go to our correspondent Nicholas Hack, who's live for us in Dakar in neighbouring Senegal. So, Nick, what exactly are you hearing about this coup?
Well, we heard from this press conference held at the military headquarters, where a group calling themselves the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order effectively said that it discovered an ongoing plan to destabilize the country, saying with the participation of drug barons, and the aim was to destabilize the election results. Presidential election results were supposed to be announced on Thursday, tomorrow. And so they're just taking over power as those results were going to be announced. two main contenders, the incumbent president, Umaru Sissoco, and Fernandez Diaz, both claiming victory. Now, we don't know the whereabouts of the president, but what we know is that the presidential palace is heavily guarded as we speak, surrounded by the presidential guard, and we have the military deployed. There is fear that there could be ongoing violence. So during this communique, they announced that air, land, and sea borders are closed and a curfew in place in the country. Malin?
Nicholas, give us some context here, because Guinea-Bissau, one of the poorest countries in the world, in Africa, what does this mean now for ordinary people in the country?
It is one of the poorest countries, but it is also what the United Nations, but also U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency call a narco state, one of the biggest narco state in Africa. Why? Well, because it's on the western point of the African coast, and Latin American drug dealers use Guinea-Bissau to funnel cocaine that then is led and sold on the markets in Europe. And so in this communique, it really points to the fact that the drug traffickers were involved in this election, and that's what they were trying to thwart. There's been accusation that the drug money has infested both the political arena but also the military itself. A couple of years ago, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency put up a sting that involved the naval chief of the country, accused of trafficking tons of cocaine through the country. But of course, none of that wealth is going to ordinary people. Most people live in poverty. And so during this election process, we saw both the incumbent president and the challenger saying that they would distribute more wealth, that their circumstances would get better. But it has not been the case. And yet another coup in a country that has suffered dozens of coups since independence in 1974 from Portugal.
Right, exactly. On that point, I understand it's experienced 4 coups since independence, as well as multiple attempted coups. Do we know for a fact if this coup is really ongoing, and what more can you tell us about it?
It's still unclear what's happening to the incumbent president against the...
Yeah, so that was a coup in Guinea-Bissau. Of course, I was about to end before I just remembered that. So Guinea-Bissau, of course, has been one of the poorest nations when it comes to the general population, but few people have wealth. And it's so funny that a country can have so much, but the people can have so little. And that is the satire of events in most African nations. So let's end there. Tomorrow we'll have more discussions. Bye-bye for now.